start making thumbnails. The big thing happens.
Weirdly emotional about tracing objects.
I started on a new comic page.
Hello, I'm Lena. I'm a part-time webcomic artist and convention artist from Germany, and I want to take you on a journey with me to draw my next big comic project. So please get yourself something to drink and make yourself comfortable, because we dive right in. I want to create this little video series about me drawing my next comic project, which is a boys' love, slice of life, romance webcomic, I guess you could say. And, well, the story is very dear to me. I guess we dive right in. I wrote this story during the pandemic, and I made a whole ass book about it. I printed a copy for myself, like only for myself. The plan was to make it a novel, first and foremost, because the characters, the world they live in, and everything else was formed in my head at least 15 years ago, while being a teenager. And I always wanted to create something with these characters, but never had the skill set to do anything, or was not confident enough in my skill set. I was absolutely into BookTube, Bookstagram, BookTalk. I'm an avid reader, so the first thought I had was make a book. And I have to say, it's not bad. I've read it a couple of times since finishing it, which is 6 years ago now. It's not bad. The writing was okay. It's written in German, by the way. I was really proud of it for a long time. But then I started to get back into drawing more seriously, and created my little art corner on the internet. Yeah, I went on conventions and stuff, but I always made art that was like more generic. Like I started out with witchy stuff, then I made more gaming stuff and D&D stuff, and I still love these things, but I want to pivot more into my OC stuff, because that's what always excited me the most. I always had stories in my head of characters. I've always written fan fictions as a teenager, like I said. And the next logical step would be making a comic. So here we are. I've already published roughly 3 comics, self-published. You can't get them anywhere except at my place on conventions in Germany. And they are called Skelly and Whisk comics. I made 2 4-panel short comic books and 1 short story book, which is roughly about 40 pages. And that was quite the good learning experience, drawing these, because they're more like super fun, no pressure at all. I just went wild in these comics and did stuff that I always wanted to do and didn't have to make sense sometimes. But with the next project, it does have to make some sense. It's a whole ass story, like from start to finish. You have a plot, you have plot points, you have drama, you have love, and it's challenging thinking about that. The good thing is, I have this as a base. I want to change some things about this, which is mainly how I want to tell the love story between the 2 main characters and which topics I want to portray. Because I not only want this to be a love story, which will be the focal point, but I want to dig deeper into important topics. Maybe I give you the synopsis real quick so you know what I'm talking about. So, in the story, we follow Skylar Johnson, who is a mechanic in a small town in Oregon, USA. And he has a really fucked up life. His mom died when he was just 11 years old, and his dad is an alcoholic. So Skylar has to, care for his father and his little sister. So fast forward, Skylar is now roughly 26 years old. His sister is an adult. He lives in his own place, but he still has to fight the demons from the past. Can't still really handle what happened to him and his family. And is a little bit of a lone wolf. Absolute introvert. Then the big thing happens. He meets this cute farmer boy Johnny Brooks, who lives in a happy, smiley family, is always kind and heartwarming and stuff like that. And they fall in love with each other. And as you might guess, there will be things they have to work out, or work through, better to say. And that is roughly the story. What I meant with digging deeper into certain topics is mental health is a big part of this book. Loss is a really big topic. And I want not only to mention it just briefly, like, yeah, he lost someone, bad for him. I want to show how grief can hold on for a really long time. And I want to show what mental issues can happen through unresolved traumatic events. I don't know if I can explain it right. The thing is, my English is not bad. I think, at least. But I speak so little in English that sometimes vocabulary is just poof, gone. I know the words, but I just can't quite grasp them at this moment. So, okay, I hope you know what this is about now. So we have this book as groundwork. I am going to divide the book chapters into episodes. The book has, I don't know how many chapters. The book has roughly 18 chapters. That is more than I thought. I thought it was only 14 or something. And I will divide them by episodes. So chapter 1 currently has 5 episodes, and that will include 20 comic pages. I don't know if that is going to work moving forward, but for now it's the best method. I know there are some pretty hefty chapters in here, which are like 60 pages long, which is way too long for a chapter. And I have to see what I will do with these. What I already did, because I told you I worked on this project for at least 2 months now. I have this notebook, which I bought many months ago for this exact purpose, because it has the perfect shade of green. I don't know if you can tell, but I love green and purple, by the way. And the color of the book is green, and I don't know, the theme is green. So we have this notebook, and what I did is, first of all, I made this key in the front with colors for every character. Then I took the first chapter and walked it through again. I took notes, what happens, and what I want to portray with these notes. Like, for example, the start is a throwback. How do I want it to look? What is the emotion I want to convey? And sometimes stuff I want to add. Like I said, I want to change a little bit of the story. I change things when I think it doesn't work in the book. And when I have these notes, I start making thumbnails. These are the thumbnails for episode 1 and 2. And like you can see, green is Skylar's color. So every time there's a green blob in one of these panels, it's Skylar. This helps immensely because I'm realizing, working in this and using it, that it's really hard to know what you meant with a little blob in the corner of a panel. So it really helps that I have the notes, which are divided by pages at the end, and having the thumbnails with the color coordination. So I did this for a whole of chapter 1. I already drew episode 1.1 and episode 1.2. They are already done. They are up on my Patreon. Episode 1.1 is for free, and 1.2 is included in the lowest tier, which is, I guess, $3 a month. So if you want to check that out. But I will upload the existing pages to Tapas and Animex, which is a German platform for doujinshis and stuff. I will upload them there in the next few weeks, I guess. I just want to finish episode 1.3, maybe 1.4 before posting these. And I can't guarantee that it will always be episodes. Sometimes maybe it will be just one page that I upload. It depends on the time, because I don't want to stress myself with this. This is a fun project. This is very dear to me, and it means a lot to me, so I want to do it right. And I can't do it right when I'm stressed, so chill, no pressure, at my own pace. And when it's just one page a month, then it's one page a month. Okay, so like I said, I did the thumbnails. These are the thumbnails for the rest of chapter 1. The thing is, you make thumbnails with the idea in mind, and when you later work on them, maybe you notice that they don't work. So I already changed some things up here. Same is, I started making the thumbnails at the beginning, and they are all 3, is it columns? Like, no, 3 rows. 3 rows down. Like, you have 1 row, 2, 3, and they're the panels. And later, I noticed I need more space to really tell the story. And I don't know. I always say I write as I draw way too big, and I guess same thing goes for the panels, because I really like big panels, but you have to fill them, and sometimes more important things just don't get highlighted as much because all panels are big and not the important ones only. So I started to make 4 rows from top to bottom and more panels in each row. You know what I mean, hopefully. So you have the story more dense on one page, which I think will be okay and fine. I will see when I have chapter 1 finished. I already know there will be so many changes in the future working on this project, because, you know, you learn something, you notice that something doesn't work, and you change it up, and that's fine and it's good. So not stressing myself too much with that. That's where we are at. I think I have everything. I'm currently working on You Gave Me Something to Miss. And I've been to an artist meetup and worked on a whole page. So I want to show you that one.
Okay, so this is what we're working with right now. The thing is, I did a bunch of pages and have never shown them. Because, you know, the spark hit and then I just drew a bunch of pages and never got out the camera. So, yay me, good YouTube artist, I guess. Okay, so where we are at. We have 3 prologue pages, which are part of chapter 1, simply. And then chapter 1 starts. The first episode ends at page number 9 here in Clip Studio. And then episode 2 starts, which has 5 pages. And I'm currently... I've been working on this page, which is pretty simple. Just a conversation between Skylar and his boss at the auto shop or workshop. I don't know. The thing is, we have a specific word for that in German, and I don't know which one is the specific word in the English language, and I guess it is depending on whether you're talking about American stuff or British stuff, I guess. So bear with me. I would just call it workshop or auto shop, depending on what comes to my mind first. So if that's wrong, please correct me. So yeah. Then the page I started working on is this one, where Skylar is having a conversation with his boss still and is agreeing to help a friend of him. And then the scene where he goes to his Mustang, I just have to draw him. Then I have everything. And don't make yourself worry about stuff like cars. To be honest. Even pros use models, 3D models and stuff for things, or the bushes in the background, are a brush, a custom Clip Studio brush. And for the car, I don't have a specific model, a 3D model of a Mustang, and I specified that it's a Mustang in my story when I wrote it. So, I got a little toy car. It's a Mustang. And you can open the doors and stuff, and it helps me immensely. I just take pictures of it and trace over it. Simple as that. I don't have time for studying how cars are drawn. I hope that at the end of the story I have a little bit of a skill set for that through learning. But right now I just traced the model. Like over here, I photographed it, and then we'll just trace over the parts that I need. and make my life so much easier. I mean, you can go ask webtoon artists. They even use 3D models completely as the background. They don't trace over them, and that's absolutely fine. Oh my god. People are so weirdly emotional about tracing objects in comics, but dude, girl, non-binary people, when you draw a story like this, you have to choose your demons. And mine are not cars, so there's that.
Okay, so voiceover Lena here. I totally forgot to make an introduction to this part of the video, but here we are now. I went to the library today to work on the comic a little bit, or let's say I wanted to do studies. I worked a teeny tiny bit on the comic. We go there with our artist meetup roughly every month, and I always walk past the artist books and how to draw books and stuff. And we have this pretty well-known manga how to draw series in Germany. I don't know if it's available somewhere else in the world. I guess so. Maybe Japan. It has Japanese origin, I guess. And they always look so interesting. I had some of those when I was a kid, but well, couldn't really do anything with them because they were too complicated. But now I can use them to their full potential, and I just took the ones that were there to my table and then started some studies. I did like all kinds of stuff, some perspective drawing, I did some specific texture drawings and stuff like that. I was hoping for some more advice on environmental stuff like foliage, trees, plants, bushes and stuff, but I couldn't find any on that. But maybe I will go back and search the other books some more. Maybe some more realistic drawing books will have stuff like that. I just worked there a little bit, enjoyed the peace and quiet. It was nice to go somewhere else to draw, and I'm not the type to go to cafes and drink a coffee and stuff. So library it is for me. Well, the first time that I was working there, and I really enjoyed it. It got quite full at the end, but still manageable. Then later I started on a new comic page. I finished one yesterday evening, and the 3 pages from episode 3 are so environmental heavy, and that's really not the kind of stuff I like to draw. And I'm not really good at that. So pretty challenging, a little bit discouraging as well, I might say. But I'm working through it, and when I have these done, the story will finally start, and we will meet new characters that are important to the story, and I'm excited for that. So yeah, let's see where this will go.
But yeah, well, I guess that was part 1 of the comic drawing series. I hope you liked it. You can certainly leave feedback in the comment section. I would be very happy about that. And yeah, what do you think about my ideas? Oh my god, I'm so bad at this whole social media thing. I'm so sorry. Okay, we see each other in the next video. Maybe it will be a sketchbook tour or another comic video. We will see. Well, until then, bye bye.